Okay, now we're going to do the viscometer. And what I like to do is just take a paper towel, fold it in half, and take the corners and roll them up. You'll see why a little later. Okay, so we take our capillary, and you got to be careful with these because they're very fragile and they're expensive. They're about $350 to $400 each one. And each of these glass capillaries has a small gold bead in it. The gold bead is there because it's a rolling ball viscometer. So when you put it in the instrument, it's going to tilt it and measure how long it takes the ball to roll along the side of the tube. If it's vertical, if it's at 90 degrees, the ball just kind of falls straight down and it spins a little bit. And so it's less precise and less accurate than if you were at a lesser angle. So we take our sample, you want to enter it in, and make sure there are no bubbles inside your capillary. Wipe off the end and take the cap and put it on. Okay. Now, when you take this off, hold it upright and right at the edge, just put it towards the edge. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're going to just push a little bit in so that it falls down the side. And let it just kind of fall down and fill up the inside so that there's no air bubble. And take the top, and when you do this, you want to turn it sideways. So you put this in, okay, kind of roll it so there's no air bubble, and turn it sideways, and take this off as you push the top in, and you'll see a little bit come out the bottom. Now, this has stuff in it, and you can't have that. So you have to clean this out. And these just let you do it a little quicker. Once you've cleaned it out, wipe off the end a little bit and put it on. This way, there are no air bubbles at the bottom. So you can take off. Wipe off the top a little bit. Just want to keep it clean. Alright, now we're going to put it in, and there's a small notch right down here. You see that? I don't know if they can see that. But anyway, you want to put it so that the notch is on the bottom and it'll fit right into the slot. Just slide it in and push it so that the rubber gets in. And it's snug, because when it turns upside down, you don't want it to fall out. Now we're going to go over to the computer. Alright, you see it? And open up Visiolab right here. Okay. Now, just leave this at standard measurement, that's fine. Your sample name is whatever you want to call it. We'll just call it test. The density, you don't have to worry about unless you want the kinematic viscosity. This machine calculates the dynamic viscosity and then uses whatever density you give it to calculate the kinematic viscosity. You want to make sure your temperature that you want to take it at is set correctly. And for this machine, it's either 25 or 20, and that depends on the calibration. You want to make sure that this number matches up with this number, and this is the calibration that it uses. This 25 lets you know that it's calibrated for 25 degrees, and this number corresponds to the capillary. And it's this particular capillary that we use for Caro, that's 4 millimeters in diameter. So you have to have the right number, and the right calibration temperature. Make sure that those are the same. You're measuring, well, there are a few options, but make sure that one is the same. The measuring program is what you choose. Now for us, we're just going to use the Caro measurement. What that corresponds to is under setup, right here on the fourth option, measuring programs. The name of this program is Caro measurement. It's what we're going to use. Default temperature's fine, don't worry about that. Down here, this is what it's telling you it's going to do. It's going to take 4 measurements at an angle of 80 degrees. Go back up to your measuring, new measurement. Okay. Now everything's set, so really all you have to worry about are these two down here, and the temperature and the name, and just hit start. And it's going to make sure that the temperature is the same. It takes a second sometimes. If you're changing from say 25 down to 20, or vice versa. Okay, and now what it's going to do is get a roll time. And so this is what it uses to make sure that the roll time doesn't exceed some limit when it's taking your measurements at 80 degrees is what we've set it at. We've set it at 80. It's going to do 2 of these. And if you come over here and look, you'll see the time to start and the run time. It's going to keep going probably up to about, I don't know, 29 or 30, hopefully. Alright, and then it counts down to the end. And when this finishes, it'll put this number over here on the computer, and it's going to do this twice. After it does that, it's going to start the measurement, and I'll show you that in a second. Probably cut it off.